I think the computer science EE is maybe arguably one of the most exciting ones because the field of study is so broad, and right now super exciting. The things happening in computer science are everything from the algorithm that's running behind Google's search to prediction in things like grades, performance of teams, measuring professional athletes. I mean, the field of study of computer science right now is exploding, and it's so far beyond kind of the normal things that people get to look into and get to explore. And I also feel like you gain a deeper understanding of the technology that we're using in a sense of not necessarily how it works so much, but why it works and what it does, why it does what it does. And to me, that's a philosophical kind of thing that's really valuable for a person to know no matter what field you go into. Any study of any kind, knowing the kind of background and the reasoning behind it is really, really important. And I think the CSEE allows you to kind of explore that and go down any path you want inside computer science. Okay, so I feel like probably the first caveat or the first thing that people ought to be aware of is that delving into what happens with social media as a technology is not a computer science topic. That goes into maybe the social sciences, that type of topic. So if that's your bag, go that way. But I think the other thing to be aware of is that no, you do not have to go out and create your own information. That being said, whatever field within CS, within computer science, you are going to have to prove that you have a deep understanding and a deep knowledge of that. So I'll give you an example. If you were looking at machine learning, you don't need to create any kind of machine learning code or any kind of thing in that realm. You can take data sets that have been created with machine learning and analyze those. You can also go in and look at why machine learning is applied in certain instances. You could even look at, which I find this to me is really exciting, is it as efficient as people believe, and is it resulting in the things that we think it is? I had a student look at predicted grades and the efficacy of machine learning in matching what is done, and I thought that was just a super cool idea and a real applicable CS EE. So are there some things that people can kind of get mixed up in with tech? Yeah, because there's just so much tech everywhere. I think if you think really hard about, I want to learn the deeper understandings behind the software usage or behind a language, those are good areas to kind of go. You can look at hardware, but it has to be pretty well defined. That's one that there's just been so much done on, looking at like speeds and compression rates and kind of memory usage. Those are still valid, but you'd have to be really careful about where you're going. So I think it's really important that you work with an advisor or even a mentor type person to get good guidance in what is computer science. The other thing is not to shy away from the curriculum itself and looking at what's in there and saying, there's a road or a path that I want to go deeper on. That to me is probably the easiest way to find a good high quality topic for this process. Yeah, I think you can't really, in the CS, you can't really do like a historical look at things. You can't really do a report on this program or that program. Those just don't, again, fit what the model is. We want to really look at and dig into the science behind why the technology is important to the global community and what implications that program or that software or even that hardware in some cases have for the greater world and that kind of thing. So I think making sure that your head's well wrapped around that is really important. I also think it's pretty important that you make sure it's something you want to learn, because this can be quite arduous. And I think that's a good thing. It's a challenging one, right? And that challenge should be taken up by the right people. I personally love looking at data and how that data is used and interpreted and gathered, but extrapolating that and then putting that into something that will pull out hidden implications, that to me is a really interesting idea and way to kind of go about looking at things. Being able to just write some specific types of code and languages is not a computer science EE either. You're not going to get away with saying, I wrote this script, I wrote that. That's not computer science. Again, that doesn't give us implications. That doesn't look at the importance of computer science to the globe. I think that's something to be careful of as well. So computer science is one of those fields, like I said at the outset, that is really exciting right now and really blowing up right now. And I think what the computer science EE offers somebody is that the expertise that you're going to need to find probably isn't in the school so much, which means you're going to have to go out and probably either find somebody to help you, or your mentor can help you find somebody who can help you maybe interpret what you're finding, which to me is a really cool connection. And I know as one of the people in that role, we have loads of contacts that we can make, and it's not, I'm not fearful in saying that, because I know there are plenty of people who would be willing to come and help, willing to kind of guide a student down that CS path. And I do think that there are some crazy cool ideas for people to kind of delve into, that there would be a mentor on the outside who might have guidance for them and might have some further things for them after they leave ISB. So I think computer science is a pretty exciting one, and I would encourage people to take it on.